Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Now I can't believe my little boy is 1 year old now, but I did a bunch of research as he was reaching his 1 year old birthday to see what kind of presents I wanted to get him, what kind of toys would suit him, and I thought I would put that all in a video because I know a lot of you guys are also mums of young babies, or you might be shopping for a friend whose baby is about to turn 1. So hopefully these picks will inspire you. So what I'm going to do is start off with big ticket, more expensive items, and then I will progressively move to sort of smaller, more affordable items. The first item I want to mention is a trike. Now this video is sponsored by Smart Trike, and I had been doing lots of research on what kind of trike I wanted to get Emmanuel. I knew that I wanted to get one, and I had some suggestions from friends on what kind of functionality would be useful, and then Smart Trike actually contacted me, so it was perfect for his 1 year old birthday. So the one that I have is the STR7, and it's actually a stroller trike. So it's basically a 2-in-1, or really it's more than a 2-in-1, because the cool thing about this trike is that it's for babies from 6 months all the way up to toddlers to 3 years, because it grows with your child and it has different modes and different configurations depending on how old they are and their development. So at the very first mode, you can basically use it as a stroller, and it's a very comfortable stroller for your baby. And then at the very last mode, it basically turns into a working trike that your child can actually pedal and ride. And that's what really appealed to me, because if you're going to spend a bit of money on something like a trike, you want it to last a while. There's so many baby things that you can get that don't last a long time at all because they just grow so fast or they develop so fast. The fact that this one grows with your baby is really awesome. So at the moment, Emmanuel is 1 and he's not pedaling yet. We basically use it as a stroller, but it is actually really handy to have it because now we can keep our pram in our car and just have the trike in our house for little walks around the block. And it's also something a little bit different for him because he's been in the pram since he was a baby, whereas this trike is something different and exciting. And although he's not pedaling yet, he can still hold on to the handle and, you know, maneuver it if he wants to, even though it doesn't actually go anywhere in the mode that we use at the moment. But it's something that is different for him. Another cool thing about this trike is that it has a smart wheel steering technology, which basically means that it's really easy to steer and you can steer it with one hand. Now let me tell you, that is actually a really important function, even if you're talking about a pram, because I realized when I became a mum that you really need to be able to steer with one hand so you can have a coffee or a drink in the other. And don't underestimate that. And if you're going to get any mode of transport for your baby that you need to steer, you want to make sure that it's easy to steer and maneuver. Another thing that's really cool is that you can switch between parent and child modes. So once your baby becomes a bit older and they can actually pedal or steer, then what you can actually do is switch so that they actually have the ability to steer in the direction they want to go. Or if you don't want to give your child that freedom, then you can switch to parent mode, and although they can still steer the handle, they're not actually controlling the direction. And I know a lot of trikes on the market don't necessarily have this function where you can switch between child and parent mode. I think this one is pretty much a deal breaker. So another really cool thing is that it has 2-stage pedaling, so they can practice or they can actually pedal. So obviously in the practice mode they can pedal, but they're not actually in control of where they're going or, you know, how the trike is moving. They're literally just practicing, whereas in the pedaling mode they are actually pedaling. So it's really, really cool as your child is learning to ride the trike that you have this function. The final feature that I really like is that you can fold it, and so it is quite compact and it's great for traveling. So if you're going anywhere and you don't want to take the pram, you can easily take the trike, you can fold it and put it in your boot. So if you're on the market for a trike, I think it's really worth investing in the Smart Trike with all that functionality and the fact that it will grow with your child. The next big ticket item I want to mention is a learning tower. So you may have seen the stools where toddlers can stand in, and Although we're not using it yet because Emmanuel's not quite standing, we know that he will get there within a few months' time, who knows. So we wanted to get this learning tower so that he can stand with us at the kitchen and like help make breakfast and smoothies and just be more involved, so that when we are cooking in the kitchen, he doesn't need to be either just sitting in his high chair, or we don't need to follow him around the house. Now, I will have everything linked down in the description box below, but the learning tower that we purchased is from My Happy Helpers. I wanted this one because it's a slimline one. We don't have a big kitchen, we don't have a lot of room for a big bulky learning tower, so we chose this slimline one. And we also wanted to make sure that the height does adjust. There are some learning towers that don't adjust to different heights, so you want to look out for that. The next big ticket item is a climbing ladder or a pickler. Is it a pickler or a pikler? I'm not sure. But basically it's a wooden climbing ladder that your baby can climb on, and some of them also have other attachments like a wooden slide or a wooden climbing board, which my one does. And I really like this one because it's another one of those things that is going to grow with your baby, and your baby or your toddler will interact with it and use it in different ways as they develop and learn more skills. So at the moment, Emmanuel isn't standing yet, but he does like to sort of pull himself up on it. And that's as far as he goes on the climbing ladder at the moment, but I know that once he gets more active, he will actually climb on the ladder and we can actually use the other attachments on it as well. So it's going to be something that is going to last a while. Another big ticket item that is great for 1-year-olds is a rocking horse. Now, I've always pictured my nursery to have a rocking horse, but for some reason I never got one, and now is actually the perfect time because he's old enough to be able to go on one. We still need to sort of support him as he's on it, and he's still a little bit unsure, but I know within a couple of months he will love it. And it's just one of those things, you know, that has just lasted our childhood, like generations of childhoods. It's just nostalgic and a very sweet thing to have. Now on to my last big ticket item, and that is a walker. Now I didn't necessarily want to get the kind of walkers where you put them in the middle and it's got wheels and they walk all over the place. I wanted to get a wagon instead so that he could hold on to it and walk or practice walking, or when he's not using it as a walker, he can actually put toys in his wagon and drag it around. So I really like that this one is wooden. If you haven't figured out, I don't really love plastic toys, and I also prefer toys that are more the Montessori style, not because I really want to go with the Montessori approach, but it's more because those toys encourage babies or toddlers to interact with it in different ways and play with it in different ways. Rather than a toy that has buttons that you press, I much prefer the more open-ended toys. So this wagon will function as a walker, and then afterwards he can play with it in other ways as well. Now this one is from Target, and it's from a brand called Kids Concept, which I really, really love. And you'll notice that a few other things in this video are also from Kids Concept. Alright, so that's with all the big ticket expensive items. Now let's move on to more affordable stuff. So the first thing is this shape sorter, and I really, really like this one because it's not literally just a shape sorter, it's also a truck, and it's wooden, and it's from Target, and it's Kids Concept. And this one, to be honest, is a little bit advanced, but I know that he's going to be able to play with it later on. And then the holes for the shapes are actually all around the cube, so it's not just at the top, which is why it is quite advanced. But it's just such a cool truck as well. So even when he grows out of the shape sorting functionality, he can totally still play with this as a truck, which I know he will love. So that's a good segue to my next item, which is wooden cars. Now, I have had these in his nursery since he was born, but he's only just started playing with them and playing with them correctly. And he just loves like crawling along and driving these cars. It's really cute to watch. When he was a bit younger, he was just throwing them, which was a bit annoying. But now he's actually driving them. Obviously, you don't need to get wooden ones. I just prefer wooden ones. These ones are also from Target. I have one more kids concept item, and that is this ring stacker. And I knew that I always wanted to get a ring stacker for Emmanuel. This one's really cool because it's wooden, it's nice colors, and yeah. Now I've also got these stacking cups. Now these are silicone stacking cups, and I really do like silicone toys for babies or toddlers because depending on which one you get, you can actually put these in the dishwasher, and you know, they just put everything in their mouth, so this is a really easy way to clean their toys. And you can stack these this way, or you can turn it the other way and stack them like so. So once again, Emmanuel isn't quite stacking these just yet, but he still does love to play with them. He sort of throws them around, puts them in his mouth, etc. And when he does develop a little bit more, he will learn how to stack these cups. Okay, now moving on to books, and not just any books, but musical books. Emmanuel loves these books in particular, and they are all from Aldi special buys, so definitely keep an eye out because they're just $5 each if you get them at Aldi. And originally I just had 2, but he loves them so much that the next time they had the Aldi special buys, we bought more. And basically they just have a whole collection. You press the button, so he just loves pressing these. Sometimes he presses them all at once and we've got all the songs playing at the same time, but it really does keep him entertained. He really loves pressing the button. This was also the first button that he learned how to press because it sticks out quite a lot and it's quite easy to press. So if you're trying to teach your baby how to press a button, these books are really good. Fun tip, sometimes if Emmanuel wakes up too early, we put him in our bed and we grab a couple of these books and he just goes to town and we don't need to get out of bed yet. Now on to the topic of books. If you are looking for a suitable Bible for your baby or toddler, this one was gifted to me by a friend and I really like this one. So it is called My Little Bible Storybook, and it's a board book which is perfect for his age. And on one side it's got the longer story, and then on this side it's just sort of got like a sentence to summarize. And the whole book kind of summarizes the Bible. There's not that many pages. I think it's a very good starting Bible for your baby or toddler if you are on the hunt for one. Another really cool gift for a 1-year-old is swimwear and swimming lessons. So I got this set from Target. As you can see, I love Target. This is really cool. It's got the long sleeves and the little shorts, and it's also got a matching hat, which is great for when they're actually in the water. But my parents also gifted him some swimwear and swimming lessons, which I thought was a really cool present. So we were already looking into swimming lessons for Emmanuel to start next year, and now that's all sorted for us and we've got the swimwear. So I think it's a perfect age, if you haven't already, to start your baby with swimming lessons and to get familiar with the water. Now along that category is a beach set. So we bought this for Emmanuel's first trip to the beach. We haven't actually taken him to the beach yet, so I'm really excited. This one is really cool because all the beach toys are in this little wagon which he can pull along and play with, and it's just got 11 different toys and spades and cool stuff that you can play at the beach. And my final item is something super simple, and that is balls. So Emmanuel loves playing with balls, he loves throwing them, and then he'll crawl after them. So I think just all different balls of different sizes that sound different are perfect. Even like different textures like this are perfect for this age, and they're a really cheap option. So that's everything in my 12-month-old gift guide. Hopefully that inspires you, whether you're shopping for a friend's baby or if you're shopping for your own. Have fun shopping around because this is an exciting time. If you found this video helpful and you enjoyed watching, please don't forget to thumbs up. I also have a bunch of other mummy content on my channel, which I will have linked down below or on the screen. And if you don't follow me on Instagram already, definitely follow me there because I do post a lot of stories on my Instagram. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.